Since we began this amazing journey, over 2.5 billion people have traveled along with us. And yet, after all these unforgettable moments, we're just getting started.
Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, Bob Chapek.
Hello, D23. Thank you for joining us today. You know, we're really excited to give you a sneak peek at some of the attractions and some of the entertainment that's coming at Disney Parks and Resorts. Now, we're going to take you behind the scenes of the creative minds that bring these attractions to life. We've got a lot in progress, most of which has been years in the making. And as the new chairman of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, I want to acknowledge the exceptional leaders who put this all in motion, especially my predecessor, Tom Staggs. I'm grateful for his vision and leadership and also for his support during my transition. You know, as a kid growing up in the Midwest, my family would take vacations to Florida, and of course, our visits to Walt Disney World were always the highlight. You know, I've continued visiting Disney parks with my own family, and like many of you, we have a tradition of celebrating birthdays at Disneyland. That's actually my granddaughter with Minnie. I really do love that photo. So for those of you that are wondering, yes, this is a dream job for me. I happen to love boats, so sitting in the captain's chair of one of our cruise ships, the Disney Dream, was one of the many pinch me moments of my first 6 months. I can't imagine a better time to be part of the Parks and Resorts group. We're in the midst of unprecedented growth and expansion around the globe. And of course, none of this would be possible without two constants that have been with us every step of the way. First, our amazing cast who go above and beyond to make magic. And to all of you, our most loyal fans, who inspire us, encourage us, and demand that we do our best every day. Our journey today reflects a deep respect for our legacy and our dreams for the future, and the recognition that our brand is as beloved around the world as it is right here in Anaheim. So today, we're going to look at our future growth plans across the world as we spread a little pixie dust for all to enjoy. As you know, the Walt Disney Company is truly global. We have theme parks on 3 continents and on a new park underway in Shanghai. Now, you may have heard that we just announced that we're bringing a new soaring attraction, soaring over the horizon, to Shanghai Disney Resort. And today I thought it might be fun to take some inspiration from that and soar around the world to check out some of the new experiences coming to Disney parks. So let's start with the place that started it all. Now, as you all know, Disneyland has been celebrating a big anniversary, and I don't have to tell you how amazing our Diamond Celebration is. Now, excitement for the celebration led to record-breaking attendance over the past few months, and by now I suspect that many of you have seen our 3 new nighttime spectaculars, some of our most innovative shows yet. You likely know that one of them, our Paint the Night Parade, was inspired by an old fan favorite, the Main Street Electrical Parade. So let's hear from someone who was integral in creating
It was the first time that the park was really used as a theatrical experience. It was really what I feel a huge advance in presenting entertainment at a theme park. Come the night of the opening of the parade, we had never actually turned on the lights. And for the first time, as the units were going out the gate, electricians and other technicians were actually jumping off of the units. It was so amazing. I was standing there at the gate, watching this parade go out, lights turning on, people jumping off the units, the crowd cheering as each one went out the gate. It was a memorable moment. I'm really, really happy to see that the legend of the original electrical parade lives on in a whole new, very exciting form.
So you know, a lot has changed since the Main Street Electrical Parade debuted at Disneyland in 1972. But what hasn't changed is the amazement and the spectacle that we can create with lights. All these years later, Paint the Night combines innovative technology with 1.5 million LED lights to deliver an illuminating experience. For over 60 years, Disneyland has called Anaheim home. And over the past 6 decades, we've been fortunate to have the partnership and the support of the key leaders in the city of Anaheim. Now, their efforts to create an environment that encourages big investments and creates jobs allows us to provide new experiences for all of our guests. Like a whole new land at Disneyland, or should I say galaxy? And I'm just guessing that some of you may have heard just a few hours ago here at the D23 Expo that Bob Iger announced that we have some big news for our domestic parks. We'll soon be transporting our guests to some of the most anticipated worlds from one of our most treasured franchises, a story that translates across time and place, of course, Star Wars. And as you've heard, we'll be building authentic lands in Anaheim and Orlando based on stories that take place in a galaxy far, far away. Now, Bob shared our ambitions to create a new 14-acre immersive environment that will introduce you to a Star Wars planet you've never seen before. A gateway planet located on the Outer Rim, full of places and characters both familiar and not so familiar. For you, our guest, every encounter will bring more of the Star Wars story to life in a place you can explore like never before. Now, the inhabitants of this remote frontier town, one of the last stops before wild space, will operate every store and restaurant. Every single thing will be in story. As you explore this new planet, each experience will literally be out of this world, like this big fellow up here. It really is incredible. Simply setting foot into the land is going to be amazing, and we know that Star Wars fans will want to be there. But we're also dreaming up attractions that push the boundaries beyond just the thrilling lands. You'll be able to fly a mission on one of the most recognizable ships in the galaxy, the Millennium Falcon, and experience an epic Star Wars adventure that puts you in the middle of a climactic battle. Now, lands of this scale and detail will obviously take some time to create, and we know they have to be great, but our ambition is up to the challenge. In the meantime, there's even more news for Star Wars fans, because while we are waiting for these new immersive lands to take shape, we have plans to let our guests at Disneyland and Walt Disney World experience more of the Force over the next several months. Here to tell you more about all things Star Wars is the Imagineer leading this project. Please join me in welcoming Scott Trowbridge.
Thank you, Bob. And to answer your question, I want to go there. but not until it's built. You know, ever since I was a kid growing up in the Midwest, worked for Bob, I thought I'd give it a shot. And I saw that first Star Wars movie, man, I was hooked. And it sounds like I'm not alone. Yeah. I mean, since that first Star Wars movie kind of hit the screen almost 40 years ago, the amazing characters, the locations, not to mention the aliens, the droids, the spaceships, I mean, man, you know, they've all kept people dreaming about visiting that galaxy far, far away. And for me, and it sounds like many of you as well, that dream included a desire to actually visit the world of Star Wars. So, it seems that over the years, that attraction to that world has just grown. And you need only look at the anticipation surrounding the new film, Star Wars The Force Awakens, to see evidence of that. Well, as Bob mentioned, we at Walt Disney Imagineering have been working really, really hard to make that dream come true. And I couldn't be more excited about the worlds, plural, that we're creating, and soon we'll be able to invite you to step into and live your own version of a Star Wars hero's journey. I can't wait till you're able to kind of step into these worlds and experience the action, the adventure, the mystery, the drama, even the humor, all those things that make Star Wars, but this time putting you right in the middle of that classic battle between the dark side and the light. Of course, we couldn't be doing this without a great partnership between WDI, our park operators, and most importantly, our team members at Lucasfilm. And that partnership, as you know, is not actually new. For more than 25 years, we've been collaborating with George Lucas and Lucasfilm on ways to bring this world to life in our parks. The new lands we have planned for Disneyland and Disney Hollywood Studios, the largest single land expansion either of those parks have ever had, they'll be nothing like you've seen before. You'll get to explore these new planets, never before seen, meet some new characters and some familiar ones, and have that chance to truly step into this wonderful galaxy of sights and sounds, smells, tastes even, and of course adventures. You know, and that's what's one of the things that's great about this project, is being able to truly step into this world and experience it with all the senses. That's what we do at Parks and Resorts. I mean, who's ever wondered what bantha fodder actually smells like? Or maybe the taste of blue milk? Anyone? Well, we're still working on the detailed designs, but the renderings you're seeing today, they should give you a very good sense of the level of immersion and detail and authenticity that we're using to bring this world to life. And that makes sense because together with Lucasfilm, we're taking this initiative very, very seriously. I mean, we have 40 years of dreaming to live up to. So, as you would expect, that's going to take some time. But as Bob also said, you won't have to wait that long to experience some more of the Force in our domestic parks. In fact, those of you who have seen our new World of Color show at Disney California Adventure may have noticed when it opened in May that it included some new footage from Episode 7, Star Wars The Force Awakens. And as we lead up to the launch of that new film and beyond, we have even more Star Wars experiences planned. So many of you are probably familiar with one of the early results of the Disney Lucasfilm partnership. Anybody here ride Star Tours? Well, since Star Tours took its first voyage right here at Disneyland in 1987, it's been a fan favorite. And we've updated it before, and we're going to update it again. So later this year, Star Tours will be adding a new destination and a chance to visit a new world from Episode 7. And you might even have a chance, spoiler alert, to meet some new characters. Also later this year, we're going to be updating our popular Jedi training live experience, adding some new designs, some new characters, some new storylines. And in addition, I'm happy to have some brand new opportunities to experience Star Wars, both in Orlando and right here in Anaheim. Later this year, we'll be counting down to Star Wars Launch Bay, a new location where guests can celebrate all things Star Wars. You can interact with some of your favorite characters and hear from the designers and directors of the latest Star Wars installments. You can explore exhibits of props, costumes, artwork from both the films and the animated series, and to even be able to play the latest, coolest new games that come out of the Star Wars universe. Anybody seen some of the previews for either Disney Infinity or Star Wars Battlefront? They look fantastic. And I'm super excited to say that at Star Wars Launch Bay, you'll be able to experience some new custom content only available in those locations. And we're not done yet. In early 2016, we'll be launching a limited time seasonal event, both in Orlando and also right here in Anaheim. Building on the success of Orlando's Star Wars weekends, we're going to be launching a new event called Star Wars Season of the Force in both locations. Right here in Anaheim, first time. Now, this limited time event is going to be a great place to kind of amp up your Star Wars experience. We'll have enhanced character experiences, some limited time special food, drink, and merchandise opportunities, and some great new location-specific entertainment content specific to each location. For example, right here in Disneyland, guests in Tomorrowland will be able to experience the classic Space Mountain attraction in a whole new way when it becomes Hyperspace Mountain. It's gonna be awesome. New digital projection, an enhanced customized soundtrack, and new special effects are really going to put you in the middle of a high-energy experience celebrating all the sights, sounds, and visceral excitement of Star Wars. And at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, a new custom fireworks show will light up the night sky during the event. Yep. Set to that unforgettable John Williams score. Yeah. So I can tell you, just a few weeks ago, we were at Abbey Road Studios in London, recording some of these new scores with the London Symphony Orchestra. And I can't imagine anyone not getting chills when you hear those amazing musical themes come to life in this brand new way. But full disclosure, I'm a little bit of a geek, so I might get off on something like that. So, yeah, I can't wait. It's awesome. The music is just awesome. So with Star Wars Launch Bay, Season of the Force, an updated Star Tours and Jedi Training Academy, we're adding a lot of new Star Wars experiences in just the next few months. In the meantime, we're continuing to develop those amazing new lands you saw, and the opportunity for you to experience those stories and characters like never before. We've got a great team working, they're working hard, and all of that stuff will be here faster than the Millennium Falcon can make the Kessel Run. I said I was a geek. I'm owning up to it. I'm owning it. So stay tuned. We got more to talk about later as we have some. We're ready to make some more detailed announcements. But we hope you're all as excited as we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. And of course, we're all eagerly awaiting the day when we can step into the world of Star Wars in Anaheim and Orlando. But you know, Star Wars is just one of the amazing franchises that we're fortunate to have as part of our incredible array of intellectual property. But that's a fact not lost on anyone in this room. At Walt Disney World, we've been adding these franchises and more across all our parks, with new attractions like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and Enchanted Tales with Belle. New Fantasyland has helped drive record attendance at the Magic Kingdom. At Epcot, we're bringing the world of Arendelle to the Norway Pavilion, which is a perfect fit for the Norwegian-inspired mythical kingdom. And at Disney's Hollywood Studios, we're going to take the park to a whole new level. And of course, Star Wars is a major component of this work, but that's not all we're doing here. Because ever since we were introduced to Buzz, Woody, and everyone in Andy's room 20 years ago, the characters of Star Wars, or Toy Story, have found a lasting place in the hearts of all our fans. Now, we've brought their stories to a number of parks in a number of ways, including at Disney California Adventure and Disney's Hollywood Studios with the popular Toy Story Mania. And we're pleased to tell you that we have new plans to take you to infinity and beyond. To help celebrate 20 years of fun with the Toy Story gang, I'm pleased to announce that we're bringing Toy Story Land to Disney's Hollywood Studios. And this will be part of our ongoing work as we transform this park, that takes you from behind the scenes now to one that puts you in them. And joining us today to tell you more about it and some of our work at Epcot is Kathy Mangum, the lead creative of Walt Disney World.
Let's do it. Yeah, like Bob said, we are really looking at the studio, Disney Hollywood Studio, with different eyes, and we're taking it from a behind-the-scenes making of story, and we're trying to build a more immersive experiences that will allow our guests to go into their favorite movies, and that's exactly what we want to do with Toy Story Land. As I know you're aware, we did something very similar across the street fairly successfully with Cars Land, where we take you into the world of Radiator Springs, and that's exactly the level of immersion that we're aiming for Florida. We had a great story on opening day at Cars Land where we heard a little boy ask his mom if this is where the movie Cars was made. And that, I know. And that set a new level for us. That was it. I mean, we are on to something. So we're so excited to be bringing Toy Story Land to the studio in Florida. We really want people to feel like they're in that movie. So when you enter the world of Toy Story Land, you'll be shrunk to the size of Woody and Buzz and all the other toys in Andy's collection, and you'll find yourself in the wild and adventurous outdoors of Andy's backyard. He set up blocks, toys, game board pieces, anything he can play with to create the perfect setting for this land. And as you become part of Andy's world, you'll have 2 additional attractions to experience that are new to any Disney park. On one, little green aliens will pull you around for a spin on your own flying saucer. The music, the lighting, the sound effects, they will all add to the flurry of your adventure while the claw looms ominously over you. Let's all say it. Ooh. It's really going to be fun. We're very excited about this one. On the other attraction, you'll be riding a family coaster that's going to zip and zoom and plunge and coast on a thrilling toy-filled adventure all in the back of Slinky Dog. So behind me, this is a little conceptual animatic that we did at Imagineering with our ride partners, where we laid out this roller coaster. So Andy here, the conceit here is that Andy has built the track using his mega coaster play kit, but he's also got a pretty amazing imagination. So he's combined it with some of his other toys. And along the way, you'll see Rex and Ham and Trixie, Jessie and Green Army Men, all triggering things along the way. And then rather than simply using the coaster from the play kit, the coaster vehicle from his play kit, he's put Slinky Dog on it. So that's what you get to ride in. And because it's one of our guests' favorite attractions, and we've already announced this, we are adding another track to Toy Story Mania to increase our capacity. More and more guests who want to ride can ride it. And of course, as you know here, this is where we take you under Andy's bed, where he's built a midway full of really fun games. It's so popular. So we're going to have those really great attractions in this land. And of course, with this new special location, we will you'll be able to meet all your Toy Story characters that you've loved for the past 20 years. This is our chance to introduce new generations of new fans, and this will just become a Disney Classic land very, very quickly. So that's Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now we'll go over to Epcot and give you a little update on some really exciting changes that are happening that Bob referenced earlier. As you know, we are building Frozen Ever After and adding it to the Norway Pavilion. I thought I'd give you a progress report, because right now all you see are construction fences. But this attraction is coming along. We are deep in construction and production. And as you know, we're taking you to Arendelle for the winter and summer celebration with all your favorite characters from the film. Right now at Imagineering, we are starting to bring the characters to life as only we can. Is he just the cutest Finn? So cute. And we've got Anna and Elsa. We have them all in production up there, and it's just great, but he's just fantastic. So we're really fortunate too, because we're right across the street from Disney Animation Studios. So we've got all the talented people that worked with us, worked on Frozen and made that such a hit, working with us over at Walt Disney Animation, and we're lucky to have access to so much of the original team. And in fact, we've got lyrics and dialogue. We worked with Bobby Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez to help us out with that. So we are really giving them the top. Fantastic access. Along with this new attraction, we're also expanding the pavilion. And we are adding the Royal Summer House. It's a charming cabin where guests will be able to meet Anna and Elsa. The cabin is based on an actual historic log cabin in Norway. And in fact, we just sent our project team to Norway to make sure that we get the character and the detailing just right, very similar to what the film team did when it visited that country. So we're confident that with this attraction, we'll bring more guests to the Norway Pavilion and we'll increase their interest and knowledge of the Norwegian culture, just as World Showcase is intended to do. So these are just a few of the highlights. We're really busy with lots going on in Orlando, but we really wanted to show these off to you today, and we're so excited about how they're all coming together. And hope you come to Orlando and see them soon with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. You know, these are fantastic additions to Walt Disney World. Guests of all ages will love exploring Andy's backyard with their favorite toys, and we know that guests keep asking for more of Anna and Elsa. We're looking forward to opening day. And as you know, we've been making great progress on our work to transform Disney's Animal Kingdom into a park that offers a full day of fun. As we've already announced, we're creating a new nighttime spectacular. And we're anchoring the all-day experience with an entire land based on the award-winning film Avatar, so that our guests can visit the land of Pandora. Of course, Pandora is a world like no other, and it's a perfect fit at Animal Kingdom. Now, the details that we've shared so far have been received with much enthusiasm, and today we wanted you to be the first to hear more. And here to help do that is the Imagineer who has led the creative team at Animal Kingdom since the very beginning. Please welcome Joe Rohde.
Animal Kingdom is a park that's built around a value system, a place that celebrates the richness, the beauty, the adventure, the intrinsic value of nature itself. But until now, we've really only been able to celebrate half of that story, the half that happens in daylight. Those of us, and there's few of us, who have had the opportunity to be in the park in the evening, know that when the sun sets, the whole pace changes, the whole mood changes, your attitude, your attention to the environment changes around you. So we're not just talking about keeping the park open for a couple more hours. We're looking at how to craft experiences that are going to capture this change in rhythm, this change in spirit that happens in a natural place at night. Now, of course, it's a Disney project, has to have pixie dust. The pixie dust of Animal Kingdom is the fireflies. And the fireflies are going to host us into this experience of the magic of nature after dark.
You know, Joe, these changes represent the largest expansion in the park's history. It's going to be phenomenal. Why don't you tell our D23 fans just a little bit more about it?
Well, one of the first things we're going to do is extend the Kilimanjaro Safari so that you'll be able to adventure through the African savanna by kind of magically extending the orange glow of sunset indefinitely into the night. We're increasing the population of the animals. We're adding 2 great new species, African wild dogs, which are really cool, hyenas, which I happen to love. They have a bad reputation, but they're great animals. To provide just an even more unforgettable journey as you take off into the darkness on this ride. And then there's Rivers of Light. This is going to be a ceremonial event that happens on our lake at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And it takes the idea of this very special nature of animals that are in this park and turns it into a celebration of life itself. It starts out very simply and very humbly. I'm sure there's going to be people sitting there going, whoa, whoa, really? We're here for like some candles? And then it starts to unfold and grow, and bigger and more elaborate lanterns appear, and then these huge curtains of water and light coming out of the water and animals within them, and ultimately this all takes off into the sky. We're using a combination of light of fire, of water, the same elements that really make up the core of life on Earth, along with live performers, to create a rich, remarkable experience. And of course, you know, Disney's Animal Kingdom is built around the lives of animals. And it changes from day to night as it undergoes this transformation with the different sights and sounds. It's the same way that the natural world changes. You're going to want to see that in order to experience it fully.
Joe, of course, a key part of Animal Kingdom expansion is the addition of a land that will immerse our guests into the world of Pandora, from, of course, the blockbuster film Avatar. You know, one of the things that makes our work on this project so special is the collaboration with the Oscar-winning team behind the film, James Cameron and John Landau, and the rest of the Lightstorm team.
Yeah, I've been around a long time, and I have to say the collaboration on this project has been truly unique, maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We have these two creative organizations coming together, Lightstorm, which is James Cameron's organization, and Walt Disney Imagineering, both of which embrace this idea of gripping story, stunning visual design, and radical technical innovation with the same kind of enthusiasm, the same level of skill. So this combined team has enabled us to create a mega team, like a super team, that allows us to create this really vividly expressive, immersive world. And it's just incredible. You know, you've got the floating mountains, and if you haven't, I invite you to go over and look at them on our model. They're pretty incredible. Giant mountains floating over your head, bioluminescent rainforest all around you, soaring on banshees. We've been working side by side with these guys, with Jim and with John, to make sure that what we do is true to this kind of mythic scale and epic feeling of the planet, of the land of Pandora. And, you know, our goal, our combined goal, is really to create we want you to think that it's real. We want you to feel that it's real. And I don't just mean realistic detail. I mean that you walk away with a sense that this thing that happened to you was real, a transformational experience that you will remember for the rest of your life.
You know, Joe, I guess we could stand up here and talk all day about it, but I think everyone would love to hear it directly from the creators of Avatar. Ladies and gentlemen, James Cameron and John Landau.
I can't tell you how proud I am. D23! There's so much to say about this and so little time to say it. And we really want to, we just want you to understand how enthusiastic we are about this. I'm going to turn it over to you guys to just go.
Well, you did a great intro on it. I think the thing that impressed John and I so much when we first got introduced to the idea of this project is these guys are crazy. They're crazier than us. I mean, we thought we were the most ambitious guys out there in terms of trying to do fantasy imagery and create an alternative universe. And we found out that their vision, Joe's vision, and that of the other people at Imagineering, so far exceeded our expectations. And we always feel sometimes when we're dealing with big corporations and so on that we have to compromise, and we're trying to get it up to a level of mediocrity. When we first heard the pitch of what they wanted to do, we were absolutely blown away. And I think you can see from the model how spectacular it is. But oh, by the way, let's tell them the name of this land. It's Pandora, the world of Avatar. That's what it's going to be called, and it is a world.
One of the things that we really found with the movie is that people wanted to go to Pandora. And thanks to you and your team, people are really going to have the ultimate, I believe, immersive themed experience. Because these floating mountains, they frame you in a way like no other land can, and we're going to transport people to this world.
This is an important point, actually. It is Pandora, the world of Avatar. You will not be revisiting great moments of a film. The adventure is yours. It is yours to have on the planet. We are presenting to you a world in which you are going to have your own personal adventures.
And part of those experiences, I think we're going to be offering in one of our attractions. People have heard that we're doing a flying ride. That ride we are calling the Flight of Passage.
And I think that's very important because it's something that touches on what all Na'vis have to go through. It's sort of a right. Do you have what it takes? And this experience is going to allow you to fly across Pandora in a very personalized experience that's unique to you, that you're going to get to experience it firsthand, much the same way Jake did when he learned to fly.
You fly, right? You're like a...
Oh yeah, I love to fly. I love, fly helicopters and that sort of thing. Flew down here in a helicopter today. But you feel like you're flying. I mean, the motion-based technology and the film software and the projection technology is so advanced now that you literally feel like you're flying. I know you've heard that before with other rides, but this is on a whole other level.
And we're lucky enough to have Joe Lettieri and the team from Walt, who did the visual effects for Avatar, working with us in collaboration on this project, and we expect it to have that same quality.
There is another ride, of course. You can imagine that this flying ride is going to be pretty physical, pretty demanding, sort of in a thrill ride category, even though it's very scenic, it's very beautiful, it's very emotional. We want to make sure that everyone who comes to this world of Pandora experiences the full range of what it has to offer. The other ride, the water-based ride, is this very fluid, very romantic, very lyrical journey into the bioluminescent forest, which, because of where it is on the planet, is in a permanent state of bioluminescence. You can always visit it. It will always be glowing. It will always go off forever. There's animals in there. There's a whole experience that you have. And that experience is deliberately designed to allow the entire family to experience it, to be something that's just really beautiful, really lyrical, really emotional. We do have a video, a little making of video. We'll run that, take a look at what we've been up to, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Let's get on your background.
That Joe put into really recreating Pandora. He and his team really have dedicated themselves to going back with a lot of the research we did to make the movie, to invest that in the land. And the other thing about the land is, like in the movie, the land itself becomes bioluminescent at night. So you don't have to just go on the ride, but the world itself will come alive.
This point about research, those of you who know Animal Kingdom know that we strive for this level of almost hyper-real detail, because all of our stories are so anchored in animals, and animals are so irrevocably real. Now, when you're watching the film Avatar, for most part, you're watching principal photography. You're watching actors and actresses, well, characters, who are carrying forth the story. And all that beauty, all that richness, all that environment that you believe in is a setting for that action. When we build a world, you are the protagonist, and all of a sudden, a floating mountain that went by for 3 or 4 seconds, you can stand and look at for an hour. And it has to hold up to an hour's worth of scrutiny. And to get that much detail, yes indeed, you have to go back and look at rocks, and look at trees, and look at vines, and look at tribal buildings, and make sure that you are holding up to a level of scrutiny that is like a microscope.
You're respecting the natural world, you know, and that's the thing that I think is such a stroke of genius of locating the land in Animal Kingdom, which is all about a celebration of nature and animals. And this is an opportunity to also celebrate tribal cultures that interact with nature much more than we do in our modern technological society. And it's something that we all yearn for. We all kind of yearn for that connection to nature. We found out something interesting when we released the film and when we first screened the film, is that it wasn't just the kind of the battles and the action that made the film so compelling and made people want to see it over and over. It was something that I think is missing from a lot of films, which is beauty. A sense of immersion, a sense of wanting to be a part of this amazing, beautiful world. There was a sense of wonder. And that's what you and your team have fought so hard to preserve in the land. It's going to be a remarkable experience. You're going to want to sit there and have a picnic. It's not about charging in. And I mean, yes, of course, you can go on the rides and that'll be wonderful. But just walking around is fully immersive. You feel you've gone to Pandora. You feel you're a character in a narrative. And there is storytelling involved. And I think that was what was amazing too, is the level of kind of, let's create a narrative. Let's create a thematic story here. It's taking place after the war. The gunships are all down and rusting in the jungle. And it's a celebration of humans being welcomed to Pandora. And that's what you'll feel. You're being welcomed to this wondrous place.
You know, hopefully like Jake arrived on Pandora, he left with his eyes wide open, that hopefully guests will do the same thing. They will arrive, and this experience of actually being transported to Pandora will open their eyes and they'll look at things a little bit differently maybe.
I think that's right. We want to use this experience of Pandora to remind us of Earth itself. We live on an extraordinary planet. The rationale behind this film is actually to remind us that we live on an extraordinary planet. And all of us together want this experience of Pandora to be something that is not just fantastically exciting, not just thrilling, but meaningful to people. We're making extraordinary progress right now, creating Pandora in the physical world, and we look forward to sharing this special place with you.
You know, that's some exciting stuff. Today's been an exciting day. Tomorrow's an exciting day as well. Somebody has a birthday tomorrow. Mr. Jim Cameron! How about 8,000 people singing happy birthday to Jim Cameron?
To you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Jim, happy birthday to you.
8,000 D23 fans singing you happy birthday. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, guys. With Avatar, you created Pandora, a world that people feel a very deep connection to, and a world that for many years we can only experience through film. And as you heard, soon our guests will be able to step foot into this beautiful world that those gentlemen have envisioned. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Rohde, John Landau, Jim Cameron. As you can see, guests visiting our parks here in the U.S. will have amazing new experiences to enjoy when they visit us. But we're also adding new experiences at all of our international parks as well. The first park outside the U.S., Tokyo Disney Resort, recently announced a 10-year, 500 billion yen expansion that will nearly double the size of Fantasyland, where we'll bring the treasured stories of Beauty and the Beast and the curiouser and curiously world of Alice in Wonderland. There will also be a new fully immersive port at Disney Tokyo Sea, where guests will get to experience the world of Frozen. Can't get enough Anna and Elsa. And in Europe, there's a whole lot in store as we lead up to the 25th anniversary of Disneyland Paris in 2017. As you may know, the recently opened Ratatouille-themed area includes an attraction that takes guests on a culinary adventure through Remy's Paris, and a restaurant that shrinks our guests down to Remy's size and guests are loving it. And we launched Jedi Training Academy earlier this summer, and it has been a big hit. And speaking of anniversaries, next month, Hong Kong Disneyland celebrates its 10th anniversary. So over the past few years, Hong Kong Disneyland has added incredible attractions in new areas such as Toy Story Land, Grizzly Gulch, and Mystic Point. We're also building a new hotel. Disney's Explorer Lodge will be the biggest on property, and it tells the story of 4 explorers who have ventured around the world. And of course, we're making great progress on the Iron Man experience, which will be the first ever attraction for Marvel in our parks. And here to tell you more about it is its Imagineer, Ted Robledo.
Hello, D23! So, we first announced the Iron Man experience will be coming to Hong Kong Disneyland almost 2 years ago. And today, I'm super excited to share with you, D23 fans, an exclusive, never-before-seen look at Iron Man experience. I can't say enough how proud I am to be part of this project, because it really is this amazing collaboration across this great company. At Imagineering, we're partnering with the prolific storytelling geniuses at Marvel and the visual effects artists of Industrial Light and Magic. You may have heard of them. To deliver to you guys an authentic Iron Man adventure. So, as you're about to see, the entire team, both in California and in Hong Kong, have been hard at work. So let's take a look at our progress. We begin our adventure at the new Stark Expo, which Tony Stark has brought to Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland is the perfect home for the Expo. Stark Industries' vision for a better tomorrow through technology is part of Tomorrowland's DNA. And true to that DNA, the Expo will be a showcase of new and exciting technologies coming soon from Stark Industries. At the Expo, guests will experience the history of Stark Industries through inventions by, of course, the company's founder, Howard Stark, and into the present day, where Tony Stark, or as most of you guys know him as Iron Man, is inspiring his team of scientists and engineers to make our lives better, more convenient, and safer through technology. But who better than to tell us more than Iron Man himself? Please welcome the one and only Iron Man! Oh, stop. That's funny. Well, maybe he's having trouble navigating the no-fly zone above the resort. I'll keep going until he gets here. Cool? All right. So, one of the best new examples of technology showcased at the Expo is the innovative vehicle called the Iron Wing. On the attraction, you'll board the Iron Wing and get a sense of what it's really like to be inside of an armored Iron Man suit. Granted, a really big armored suit. Then, you guests will take a short flight to the new Hong Kong Stark Tower, where you'll get an up-close look at the world's largest arc reactor, a self-sustaining generating device, energy generating device that sits atop the tower. But then, our flight takes a turn for the worse. And we find ourselves in a fight for our lives against the evil forces of Hydra. They've come to the tower to steal the arc reactor. And we, along with Iron Man, are all that's standing in their way. As the battle continues, we'll fight alongside our favorite Avenger, Iron Man, and we'll also see some new, never-before-seen faces of Hydra. And for our hardcore Marvel fans, are there any out here? For you guys, if you're paying close attention, maybe some familiar faces as well. But you know what? Enough of me talking. I'll let the attraction speak for itself. Here exclusively for you D23 fans is a first look at some of the action from Iron Man Experience.
I know. Hydra can't get the arc reactor. Get out of here. Go, go. Nice work. Now, let's get you back to the expo.
Try this again. Please welcome the man who is responsible, actually, for this Stark Expo, Mr. Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man. I really don't know what to say. Well,
Ted, excuse me.
Hey, Bob.
Got a text from Pepper Potts. Tony running late, cleaning up Hydra mess. Be there ASAP.
Oh, well, okay. While we're waiting, why don't we give away a grand prize?
Fantastic idea. Should we do that? All right, great idea. So our grand prize is an all-expense-paid trip to Avengers Tower in New York City, including luxury transportation aboard Tony's private jet, dinner at the burger joint with Tony Stark and Pepper Potts, wait for it, and a chance to try out the Mark 43 Iron Man suit with a sunset flight above Manhattan. Thank you. And our winner is Section M. Row 3, seat 1. Your name? Stanley. Well, Stanley, it looks like you're the big winner. What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm involved with comic books.
Okay, well, you just keep at it, because maybe someday you'll come up with a character like Iron Man.
Oh, that would be great.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have one more big round of applause for our winner, Stanley.
Just a minute. Don't you know who I really am?
Yeah, you're the guy from Section M.
I'm Stan Lee. I'm
The world's greatest cameo actor. I was a postman. I was a truck driver. I was a prison guard. I was an American Army general. What's with you, man?
You know, I'm not getting it. Do you have any footage or anything you can show me?
Take the reel. Show the reel.
Here's something a bit more interesting. It's possible gamma sickness. Milwaukee. The man drank one of those Guarana sodas. Guess it had a little more kick than he was looking for.
Hey, the Oracle of Oracle. Hold it, please, and I see it.
Any questions?
Yeah. Can I have my shoe back? Oh, man. I am so fired.
Look at Mr. Smiles over here. Where's your wife, old man? What a Class A freezer.
The girl I'm with, you know what I'm saying? She's crazy stupid fine, right? Bartender's all like, yeah, crazy stupid fine.
No. See this? This was aged for 1,000 years. The barrels built from the wreck of Brunhild's fleet is not meant for mortal men.
Neither was Omaha Beach, Blondie. Stop trying to scare us.
What?
Eggshell shield.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the man who puts the star of Star Expo. Give it up for Iron Man.
You missed me, I can tell. Hey Ted, Bob, you look kind of familiar. Aren't you one of Cap's old buddies? Oh, that's right. So what are you doing here?
I've seen that man before.
Congratulations. Oh, hang on, I'm getting a call. What's up, Nick? I'm a little busy here.
Do you remember
tell
when I
them
showed you
not to get upset.
how to act
I'll be
and
right
what to
there.
do and how to fight the villains? Remember, the bad guys always look ugly, the good guys are always handsome like me, so you don't make any mistakes, right? And you've been doing a great job.
Okay, everybody, duty calls.
Do it for
Gotta fly.
them, because they
See you
need
all
you,
at Star
and they
Expo.
want you. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Iron Man. Cameo actor, Stanley.
Stanley, everybody. And thank you, Ted. We can't wait to see that Iron Man experience. We know how much our fans love our Marvel characters, and we can't wait to have them in our parks. It's going to be great. You know, exactly a month ago, we opened the curtain on one of our most ambitious projects ever. We shared with the world everything that we're doing to make our park in Shanghai so special. Now, many of you have heard about how we're taking the very best that Disney has to offer and tailoring it specifically to our Chinese guests. And here to share a behind-the-scenes glimpse is Walt Disney Imagineering's lead creative executive on the project, all the way from Shanghai, and lending credence to the idea that it helps to have the name Bob if you want to get a job at Walt Disney Company, Bob Weiss.
Thank you, Bob. And ni hao, D23. You have your passports updated. Good. You know, it's so great to be here. And, you know, Disney's connection with China goes all the way back to 1938, when the first full-length animated feature, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, was distributed in Shanghai. It was a huge hit. And to celebrate the release of the film, some of the theaters even screened shorts of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. From that day on, the people of China have grown to love these Disney characters. Now we're going to share with them something that everyone in this room understands, loves, the magic, wonder, and delight of a Disneyland park. I grew up with Disneyland in Southern California. That's me, right next to Mickey. So imagine being that kid, and then years later being assigned to lead a team of Imagineers to bring the first Disneyland resort to China. That's where I am. So I'm thrilled to be part of this project and to be working in a collaborative team that combines Walt Disney Imagineers, cast members, Imagineers from all over the world, and our new cast of Chinese Imagineers. We're combining traditional Disney techniques of storytelling, and we're also reinventing so many of the attractions. The result is a stunning, state-of-the-art park and a resort, as Bob Iger has coined, that is authentically Disney and distinctly Chinese. The park will have 6 themed lands, some familiar, such as Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, and some new just for Shanghai, such as Adventure Isle and Gardens of Imagination. And for the first time ever, a completely Pirates-themed land called Treasure Cove. Many of you have probably already seen our pavilion and had a chance to get a detailed look at Shanghai Disneyland Resort. I hope you have, and if you haven't yet, please come by and check it out. This afternoon, I thought I'd tell you a little bit some of the stories behind the design that our team has been pursuing as we develop this new park in Shanghai. First of all, when you step into the park, you won't step into Main Street. You'll step into a very similar place, but what we call Mickey Avenue. Along the street, you'll be greeted by Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and the other familiar faces that generations of Chinese people have known and loved since they made their first debut in Shanghai with Snow White so many years ago. Each store features Disney characters as the proprietors. So you'll see how their personalities influence the design and all the decor. And although the area has a very whimsical feel, the buildings are rooted in rich Disney architectural styles and filled with fantastic character detail. Mickey Avenue connects you out to the Gardens of Imagination, which is Shanghai's hub. It's filled with lush garden spaces, a beautiful castle stage, and our longest Disney parade route around the world. Nearby, the Wandering Moon Tea House highlights a new original story inspired by China's wandering poets. These dining rooms feature China's rich and very diverse landscape of mountains, oceans, forests, rivers, and deserts, and the design was highly influenced by research trips that our team took going to all these beautiful regions of China. As you know, one of our most beloved attractions is Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's amazing for us to be able to reimagine that story in a whole new way for Shanghai. The Imagineers researched the 18th century Caribbean to create Pirates-themed Treasure Cove and its anchor attraction, Pirates of the Caribbean, Battle for the Sunken Treasure. Many details are based on this research, and they create a setting that is very authentic to the time period. Most of our Chinese guests are not going to necessarily be aware that Pirates of the Caribbean started here at Disneyland long before it became a film franchise. So because they know the films, we've created an experience that combines visual imagery, physical sets, and audio animatronics in a whole new way to tell this pirate story like it's never been told before. And now I would like you to be the first audience to see a few seconds of the tool we use to develop and program the ride, and that's this animatic. Take a look. What do you think? That's a few seconds of it. We look forward to showing you the whole thing. As you know, Tomorrowland envisions a world of unlimited possibilities, and the centerpiece of this land in Shanghai is the Tron Light Cycle Power Ride. Now, you can see this vehicle was inspired by the light cycle in the film, so we knew we had to get it right. Designing that is a very complex task. We wanted to simulate what it would really be like to ride the light cycle. We're really sitting on an individual motorcycle type seat rather than in a larger car. The question was, how do you design something like that that will work for many people, different ages, different heights, different sizes? So we conducted rounds and rounds of testing, and it resulted in what I think is going to be an amazing, amazing ride experience. This will be one of the fastest rides of any Disney park, and we think our guests are going to love going through this high-speed race through the digital world of Tron. And then, that's right. And then there is Adventure Isle, a newly discovered lost world brimming with mystery. Dominating this land is the mighty Roaring Rapids Mountain. It's one of the tallest landmarks already in the Shanghai region. And the resort is, or the mountain is being sculpted by this amazing team of international Disney rockwork artists, and it's really looking beautiful. Now, when you ride this, you're going to encounter this mysterious reptilian creature, which is going to try to bite your head off. Its only existence, known existence, is in the Roaring Mountain. But as Imagineers, we want to do our research, and we consulted actually with international paleontologists, Chinese paleontologists, and actually visited Chinese dinosaur dig sites throughout China to get more information about how to make this guy as scary as possible. The final centerpiece of the park is our biggest castle yet. The enchanted storybook castle will take you up a little bit to the top from a week or so, a couple weeks ago. Castle will be an entertainment venue unto itself. There's a restaurant where you can dine with Disney royalty. There's a water ride that travels underneath the whole castle. And there's an interactive attraction which features Snow White. After all these years, Snow White is coming back to China, and she's going to be as original and innovative as she was in 1938. So that's just a quick glimpse of the Shanghai Disney Resort. And I have to say that in my many years of designing and building Disney attractions for Disney parks, that being part of the Shanghai team has to be one of the greatest rides that we've all been on. It's amazing. And I want to thank Bob Iger and Tom Staggs for their creative vision and leadership from the very beginning throughout this project. We're going to make it possible for millions of people in China to experience the magic of a Disney park and make lifelong memories with friends and family, just like the memories that I know each of us here carries in our hearts. Xie xie.
Thanks, Bob. Needless to say, Shanghai Disney Resort will share the magic of Disney parks with a whole new audience for generations to come. From Anaheim to Orlando, from Tokyo to Paris, and from Hong Kong to Shanghai, we've soared today. We've soared around the world. And one more thing. I'm pleased to say that you will soon go soaring on your own journey to far-flung lands. Because you'll do it when Soaring Around the World debuts at Walt Disney World in Epcot, right here in Anaheim, at Disney California Adventure next year. You'll fly over landmarks across the world like Monument Valley and the Great Wall of China. It's made possible by new technology developed by Imagineers, which captures the beauty and the magic that our natural world has to offer. Now, we know what you've come to expect from this attraction, and as you can see, we put a lot of work into its evolution. All of our parks around the world share traditions that bind them together, and it's no doubt that you've experienced many of them, including our amazing nighttime spectaculars. As some of you know, we call them our Kiss Goodnight. It's how we thank our guests one last time for spending the day with us. And it's how we show them how much that we appreciate them and all of you. It's how we show our gratitude for the time that they've shared with us and making lifelong memories with their friends and their families. So today, we'll say goodbye from Anaheim and Orlando, Tokyo, Paris, and Hong Kong, and even from Shanghai. On behalf of all of us at Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, thank you for being with us today and for soaring with us on this journey. Throughout the years, throughout our magical lands, and throughout the world. Thank you very much, and please enjoy a very special Kiss Goodnight performed by our talented cast members. Thank you very much.
the stories come to life. This is a